All right, hey there, this is a live look outside. This is one of our ODOT cameras. Interstate 71 South. This is just south of 76, so like right at the interchange there. Looks like a parking lot. We've got a semi truck that has rolled over and is blocking the entire Interstate South, 71 South. So be careful, be extremely careful as you're heading out the door this morning. Looks like the roads right there are just wet, but they will eventually get more snow covered as we go. Thankfully right now temperatures are hanging out right at about freezing, so the treated roads are great. They're really melting that snow as it's falling, and with this slushy snow, it doesn't take a whole lot for it to melt. So it looks like a lot of the roads are doing all right, but that's not going to be the case all morning long. We've got more snow on the way. Here's Worcester, College of Worcester looking outside, and we've got some snow-covered parking lots there. Of course, the grass, that's where you're going to get in on that accumulating snow, but on the roads and stuff, it's melting pretty quickly, which is good news. I want to take you to the radar this morning and sort of show you everything, the whole aspect with this. This is the whole system. You see it pulling moisture out of the Gulf, eventually out of the Atlantic. You can kind of see a rolling up from Atlanta. You can see it pulling out near New York. There's a lot of moisture with this system and a lot of warmth as well. Tons of snow back towards Chicago, Indianapolis, St. Louis. For us, we're actually going to get cut off. We've got warm air on the way, and that warm air is going to jump our temps above freezing and shut the snow down and change it over to rain. By midday, I mean like 10, 11, 12 o'clock, we'll see this snow changing over to rain, which will eat a lot of the snow. I think it's heavy rain at times also, which tends to eat more and more snow as we go, or as it continues to fall. This is what we have right now. If you're watching this live on Facebook Live, it's 7:31. And so what we're seeing right now is a pretty good burst of some snow. We've had some snow-covered roads the farther south you are. We'll continue to watch a lot of this near like New Philly, but I think that's where it changes over to rain sooner. So you're into that 1 to 3 inch range before it changes over. Then it won't change back to snow until maybe tonight or tomorrow morning. Heading up 77 towards, through Stark and into Summit County. The roads look okay. The main roads, the treated roads look okay, but your driveways, sidewalks, things like that might not be as bad, or might not be as cleared, rather, I should say. A little bit heavier from Avon over to about Lorain, Avon Lake. You see some of those darker colors in there. That's one of the concerns that we've had as far as if it's falling heavy enough. Yes, it's melting, but it's not going to melt as fast as it's falling. So those roads are going to get slick, then it's going to get compacted, then it's going to get slushy and icy. And just be careful as we go throughout the rest of this morning. Let's zoom in a little bit more on some of this and show you where it's trying to roll on in here. This is Lorain, Medina, Northern Ashland counties, Canaan, Seville, Barberton, Akron. It's pretty good snowfall numbers. Let's see if I have a couple cameras. I might have access to some cameras out on the west side here. Bear with me for a second here, and I'll show you some of this. But don't want to change around the camera we have on 71, but I do want to take you to 70 or 90 rather. Let's see if I can change this around for us. You have to bear with me for this while I kind of do this on the run, but essentially what we're looking at is more and more in the way of snow as we go throughout the rest of our Wednesday morning. If we could jump back over to the weather graphics, then we can do it while we're live on here. All right, let's scroll down. We've got 90 at Clegg. So this is Westlake. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look like it's sticking on the roads really at all there. So here's Columbia, 90 at Columbia. Not bad either, but roads are definitely wet. Let's go 90 at 2. You got the plows out. That's good. Good to see. You got the salt, the treatment going on. 90 at 80. So this is the west side where 90 hits the turnpike in Lorain County. There it is. You get the snow flying around. Watch bridges and overpasses. Those are gonna potentially get frozen first. Other than that, we are looking okay for the most part. Lots of schools out, lots of closures. So just be careful. Just be careful. I know a lot of kids are going to be off school. They may be out playing in this stuff, but it's going to turn over to rain eventually. So that's when we're going to start talking about this snowfall really shutting down. Let me take you through that. Let me take you through the afternoon. Here's our futurecast. Looks like we're going to deal with the snow until about 9, 10 o'clock. And you see those temps jump up into the mid-30s, especially south. That's 11, 12 o'clock. That's rain pulling in. Rain may still be falling into our freezing air, which means sleet. You got snow in the clouds, it falls into the warm air, melts to rain, and then it falls back into freezing air, which changes it back over to sleet. So a couple things we're going to keep a close eye on is that snow to ice to rain transition. Should be all rain this afternoon. We're back near 40 degrees. When you get off into Sandusky, Fremont, Toledo, you're colder. So I do expect that to stay mainly snow, but most of us stay in this warm sector. So we stay with the rain for the afternoon. As far as how much, this is it by noon. But like this is by the time that we see that transition. So the morning round of snow. 2 to 4 inches, 1 to 3 south, and even 1 to 3 along the lake shore. The farther north and west you are, it's just taking a little bit longer for that snow to reach, try to like roll north, so it's going to drop your numbers by about an inch. But you see that +4 afternoon, that's where it stays cold enough to where it stays snow. So we're looking at Sandusky maybe closer to 3, Toledo closer to 6. We're going to have quite a range with that snow continuing to fill in through the afternoon. Now, overnight tonight, we drop back down to about freezing, so I've got to transition back over to snow. It won't be as widespread, but it will be more lake effect, so where squalls persist, maybe 1 to 2, maybe isolated spots up to around 3 inches. We got it clearing out later than that. Later Thursday evening, winds relax. We'll drop into the 20s Friday morning. And then Friday night, I got a clipper coming in. It's just a quick moving, couple inches, nothing crazy, but getting into Saturday, we should dry that out. Then getting into Sunday, you got another round, another wave rolling up, essentially rolling up 71. It's going to pull a lot of moisture. It's going to pull a lot of warmth. Look at those numbers. 36 in the morning, 39 in the afternoon. That's warm enough to where it's mainly rain. I do expect Sunday to be mainly rain with some snow mixed in. Maybe Sunday night, it transitions over to snow. Maybe a little bit of lake effect on Monday. But look at those temps, and I think next week it gets even colder. We'll dry it out, but dry in winter typically means cold. So we've got winter really getting cranking here. I do want to show you a couple more of our cameras around the area. Let's see if I can show you Worcester again. I've got Ashland. There's the update now that the sun has come up. It looks pretty snow covered. Folks getting off into working out. Here's Brunswick. This is a time lapse of Brunswick. Hasn't been bad. Brunswick's far enough north to where nothing too crazy, but you see that snow rolling in and you see that visibility starting to drop. So things are just getting started here in Brunswick. Akron, there's your snow-covered cars and untreated surfaces. You see like the sidewalks are okay, but you get between the sidewalk and the streets and you've got those snow-covered roads and little parking areas are going to have snow on them. Sandusky, not looking too bad, looking pretty foggy out there. Lorraine not looking bad either. But like I said, it's just now getting along the northern lakeshore communities. Mentor's looking just fine, but there's that Worcester camera where it's a little bit slipperier. So that's essentially what we're looking at. I want to show you a wide view of what we have going on right now. This is our radar. We're going to watch a couple waves. We've got this wave rolling through. We've got this wave rolling through. And eventually we're going to have some warmth trying to build up, and that's going to change all this over. Another wave right here pushing through Newark toward Coshocton. So all these little chunks of snow, those are going to slow down and kind of cover those streets. Let's go wider. Show you the big picture. This is, let's zoom this out just a little bit more. Here is the warm air. See it trying to build on up, trying to pull it over. Cold air is winning out for now, but it will not be the case for long. Give it a couple hours here and that warmth will start to take over, and we'll see the green spreading north up 77. Still a lot of moisture to get through, colliding. Still got that cold air on the backside trying to collide. It's all kind of wrapping around that whole system, and that's going to be our story for the rest of the day today. All right, so it is 7:38 right now. I am going to get ready for our next GMA cut-in. We've got another one coming up in a few minutes here. So if you want more updates, make sure you turn on News 5 or just post right here on the bottom into the comments section. But stay safe outside this morning. Make sure you keep it tuned here, and we'll keep you up to date.